How's it going, everyone? Hopefully I don't sound like a dolphin today. I was being censored by the government. You know it! You know it! Let's go! Let's get started! Damn! Oh, man, Mondo, where you been? Where you been, Mondo? How's life? How's everyone doing? I'm gonna be pouring a drink tonight. Holy shit. Holy shit. Let's get the show going on the road. I am feeling frisky tonight, man. This whole Bitcoin, the war, it's everything all at once right now. Everything all at once. What the hell? I have barely anything left in this bottle. Shit. Well, c'est la vie. Alrighty, let's get this show on the road. How you doing? How you doing, Mondo? No dolphin tonight? That's great. That's great to hear. Let's test a few videos real quick, and then we'll start diving into the meat and potatoes. I'm assuming all of the intros worked. Everything sounds good. We've got, obviously, test. This works. My main screen. You hear the music. Everything sounds fine. And then we'll test the video. A couple of different sources. Just real quick before we start. Make sure nothing's weird going on. We got Pompliano out here talking about the Bitcoin halving again on CNBC like he does every single day. It's crazy to have him on every day now. How's the volume on that? I can hear now. I can monitor everything, which is good.
I want to talk about the halving. I want to talk about the run-up in the price. And also the flip of that, which we saw last weekend. You were kind enough to tweet back at me over the weekend. We were trying to understand some of the movements.
Video has sound but
Explain
low.
to the audience what you think has happened even in the past week.
Check what's going on OBS.
And maybe this.
We've got. I can max that out. How about this?
Lower. Yeah. Well, let's put everything in
context.
That
any better at all?
Talking about Bitcoin is crashing to $64,000 was a dream just a few years ago. So we're up significantly. Since the last halving to today, about 4 years, we're up 800%. So it's been incredible performance this year to date. It's about 40%. Compare that to gold. Gold's up 7%, year to date. And in the last 5 years, it's only up.
How about that? I can max it out.
The reason why I bring that up, what I think is really interesting, is you actually have lost purchasing power if you've held gold over the last 5 years.
All right, hopefully that's good because I don't want to kill my eardrums with my monitor device. And then we've got
right for the last 5 years. That's not
let's
true.
see.
Bitcoin has. So when
we'll check my other source video and we'll dive into it. So I like to play these, of course, all the time. We've got let's play some Sailor clips. Sailor.
Crypto
Which
asset.
one's the best crypto?
Crypto asset. Okay.
Which one's the best crypto asset?
There is no
second best. There is no second best crypto asset. There's a big asset. It's called Bitcoin, right?
Right. There is no second best. Okay. It's not like Google and Facebook. It's
not
like Apple and Amazon.
Mondo.
Yeah, we can debate Apple or Amazon. What's better? They both look like tech monopolies to me. They both look pretty good.
Damn.
On the other end, Bitcoin or no?
No. Bitcoin.
Bitcoin's crypto asset.
We can hear Michael Saylor. That's awesome. Good to go. Let's dive into it. Oh man, I am just roaring today. I just got back to the movie theater with a buddy of mine. Went to go see the newly released Civil War. It was good. It actually, all the things I talk about all the time and my friends and family, I kind of warn them what's happening right now. You gotta prepare, man. Anything's possible when it comes to crypto assets, gold, and the devaluation of all fiat currencies. You gotta also worry about this too, right? You gotta be prepared. Hopefully, you got a Kevlar vest. Hope you got something going on. I know it's not everyone's mainstay. It's not my wish to go into war and all this crazy shit. But I mean, you gotta have one of these. All right, and plenty of ammo to go around because you never know what's going to go down, man. We're moving into some crazy times as we watch Israel, and this is like my thumbnail, right? We're talking about everything, everywhere, all at once, and it's affecting crypto a little bit, but it's more or less affecting stock market than anything. We talked about this yesterday in my Dolphin Speak being censored by the government, of course. No, it's probably just a mic issue. But anyway, yeah, we talked about how boom, fear and greed right now for stocks is insane. This is the lowest we've seen all year. We've never seen anything quite like this. Honestly, I've never seen anything quite like this in all the years I've been keeping track of all this. Even with the rate cuts, this amount of fear, that's a lot. We're almost near extreme fear for the stock market. And you compare that to the crypto right now, we're still in extreme greed. We're still, well, I guess we fell back from extreme greed, but we're still at like 5 points off from where we were yesterday, the day before, 80. I mean, we're pushing 80, right? Pushing 80. So the crypto fear and greed index is looking pretty good still, even though the dollar is at record highs for this year. Record highs. Look at this, 106. I mean, this is crazy. 106 as of yesterday and today. What is going on, man? And we haven't seen a real coupling of price action compared to Bitcoin and the dollar in a long time. And so we did get a bit of a pullback for Bitcoin and a bit of a pullback. We're talking about 15% drop, right? From our all-time highs. I mean, we're literally all-time highs. We broke all-time highs before the halving, which it's unheard of. So this hype could be thrown into that. We covered this a little bit yesterday too in my Dolphin Speak. But yeah, this is insane. Insane what's going on right now. We have 2 days, 3 hours, 54 minutes, and 32 freaking seconds until the Bitcoin halving. Let's go, man. I mean, this is happening so fast. We waited so long. It's right around the corner. It's here, coming right up, and we got a flood of money coming in the marketplace now. And Google Trends is popping off, man. I mean, I looked up today, and again, it makes my heart just like sink. And my faith in humanity just dwindle away to nothing every time I look at this, because it's all sports and stupid normie shit. But if you look at the big picture and we go into the specific Bitcoin trends, and this is over a 12-month period, it's coming up a little bit. The normies are starting to figure out, retail's starting to get in, but they are not paying attention quite as much. But again, CNBC's covering this every day, getting the idea of the Bitcoin halving in their heads. And as we see this move up, interest over time in the last 12 months, look at this last 7 days. This is crazy. Like, we're seeing all these peaks just going off the chart. You look in the last 90 days, the last 3 months, boom, skyrocket. So we may not be getting as many searches for Bitcoin relevant to the last all-time high in 2021, but it's clearly there when it comes to Google searching what the halving is, and people are starting to figure it out. And when these asset managers and institutions figure out and then start investing a percent of their portfolios, it is going to change the reality of this asset class forever. Forever. So don't fade this. Pay attention to it. And as we connect all the dots every single day here on the channel, we're also looking at the Bitcoin treasuries, seeing what these ETFs are doing, because these are moving the markets. IBIT's going to be 300K by next week. I guarantee it. I mean, they have customers taking advantage of these price dips right now. I'm taking advantage of these price dips. I actually had all of my levels hit. I got all my orders in this week. It's insane. I had $100 set up in every single step of the way down. I'm good, man. I'm set up. We can stop right here. The bleeding will stop. I have one more set into 59 and 58. I really don't think... I mean, unless something crazy happens overnight. I know there's a lot of fear right now with Iran dropping a bomb. On top of that, they could use some kind of chemical or radiation type warfare. That's what it's talking about right now. They're talking about... In their words, Iran's talking about dropping a type of bomb they never used before, and that's what they said. So we'll see what happens with that. As Bitcoin tests again 62, if it cannot break 62 tonight, we're probably going to see a level down we haven't seen since before we broke out, and that's going to take us all the way back to February, the end of February. We're looking at probably 58 again, right around this area. The next area of support will be right in there, so keep an eye out for that. If we cannot hold 60K, we're going to end up at 58. So that is the next level we're looking at for Bitcoin. As we kind of dive into some of the other things. The Bitcoin treasuries, again, grayscale starting to dip out, but they're still holding above 300,000. That's still okay, I guess. We're just expecting this to eventually move into. I mean, get real. It's going to eventually end up in BlackRock's hands at some point. Anywho, so we went over a whole bunch of topics yesterday. The big thing is China's ETFs have finally launched. Even though we expected it was going to take months to play out, it's now looking like weeks to play out. And the big question is mainland money in China going to end up into the Bitcoin ETFs? Is that money there? And apparently there's rules and there's a certain amount that can be invested in this country, in Hong Kong, from out of region investors, mainland China investors. So there is some sort of like, stipulations, if you will. So I wanted to kind of dive into that again now that I don't sound like a freaking dolphin, which is terrific. And we're just gonna cover this real quick, and then we're gonna get back into the news. There's a lot of news coverage today on Bitcoin. Most of it's been FUD the last 2 or 3 days, but it is kind of bullish that we held ourselves back up. And again, proving that the fair value for Bitcoin as of right now is somewhere between 60,000 and 72, right? 73 are all-time high. So somewhere in that range. We're still stuck in that range. And so we actually gotta clean this up a bit too, because we did dip down and broke out. So that's no longer relevant since we did invalidate it. So we're somewhere in that range right there at the current moment until we break completely out of it, and then we're going back into a lower range. That's just the way it is. You gotta play as things go. Again, dips or gifts. Keep buying, keep stacking. Good things are coming. We just gotta get out of this rut with the war and the state of the U.S. economy. Eventually, it's all going to fall into, and everything's going to bleed onto Bitcoin. All right, so, so the ETF and that analyst at Bloomberg, Rebecca Sin, that's a terrible name, it's Sinful Rebecca, has provided optimistic forecast for the Hong Kong ETFs. Market. Sin anticipates healthy growth, estimating assets to reach $1 billion within the first 2 years. $1 billion doesn't seem like much, honestly. However, this projection falls short of the more ambitious estimates previously suggested, as I have constantly talked about in this channel. And we go into Eric Balchunas, and his mainland China investors probably won't be eligible to buy Hong Kong ETFs listed to buy Bitcoin, either ETFs or Ethereum as well. As the barred from buying virtual assets, there are some other routes that could take into use in consideration. Could be user channels that could be shut down, and via note of Rebecca sent. So they're just kind of going back and forth on their ideas here between the two analysts. But yeah, the success of the Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs in Hong Kong hinges on several factors, including infrastructure improvements and regulatory clarity. Balchunas emphasizes the critical role that those elements play in attracting investment and positioning Hong Kong as the ETF leader in the Asian region. I mean, they're looking to be the crypto capital of the world. And what better way than to regulate and approve both the top two crypto assets in the space at once, right? That's what we should have done in America from the very beginning. Gary Gensler even said multiple times that Ethereum was a commodity. We already know Bitcoin's a commodity. It's already been approved for spot Bitcoin trading ETFs. So what are we waiting for here in America? Ultimately, I think we're holding back for more wealthy investors to get more exposure before this shit just sails, man. The ship is going to sail. Anywho, despite the ETF's structural nuances, Balchunas remains cautious about Chinese government approval, citing historical regulatory actions against the cryptocurrencies. The China stance on Bitcoin has been characterized and periodically by crackdowns on trading and mining activities. As we talked about, the mining ban in China back in 2021, 2022, that basically halted the bull run last cycle. We would have reached 100K if it wasn't for two things. The China ban on mining, and yours truly, Scam Bankman-Fried's, FTX. Yes, these are my legendary FTX fortune cookies from 2021. Anyway, this is what we're looking at, right? We're following the money. It's all going into these ETFs. We're going to have huge investors and big players in China. This is going to be the crypto capital of the world if Hong Kong takes off. And it's sad to say, I mean, Japan and America, we're just a little too slow. We're just a little too slow, even though Japan had the first regulated crypto. Yours truly, Jasmine. Don't forget, Don't fade Jasmine. Don't have it on my screen right here, but I usually have it in my cockpit. Let me get back to that. Boom. Right there in that corner. Jasmine. And a little orange token over there. Little Bitcoin of Japan, right? Don't fade Jasmine. Anywho, diving right back into it. As developments unfold, attention remains focused on Hong Kong ETFs, ETF landscape, or regulatory challenges intersect with the market potential. This is going to be the biggest thing to happen in crypto. The biggest thing to happen in crypto this year are going to be the ETFs in America, ETFs in Hong Kong, and whatever other come out. I mean, we already had the ones in Brazil. Again, not as large as an economy, not as large as a growth, for the space, but we're rolling out, and it's going to be a huge bull market cycle. I mean, next year we could be looking at this time period and be like, what was that all about? Who cares about that 60K dip, right? Down to 60K again. We're looking at $250,000 Bitcoin now, or whatever the hell we're going to be at. Some investors and economists and analysts are looking at like $1 million Bitcoin still next year. It's as stupid as it sounds. It's crazy. I thought it would take 4 or 5 cycles to get to that point. It looks like it's right around the corner. And I mean, we're going to be scarce in gold in 2 days. More scarce than gold in 2 freaking days. More scarce than gold. And we have Anthony Pompliano. We're going to cover real quick. He talked on CNBC as well about how he thinks $100,000 Bitcoin. This is not even that bullish, to be honest. 12 to 18 months. Previous predictions we were looking at 100K Bitcoin by 2-3 weeks out after the halving, and at least 150 by the end of the year. So let's see what Pompliano had to say today. This was 10 hours ago in the morning. Let's
start talking about this price run up, that 40% increase to start the year. All of a sudden, why is the price going up? ETFs are a huge piece of it. Also, I think people leading into the halving, that's a big piece of it. But the government has decided we are going to debase the currency, right? And I think that now the world has understood that they're doing it on purpose. Debt problem. We're going to debase the currency. So there's some of that going on as well. Now, over the weekend, the price sells off. And I think there's really 3 things that drove that price sell-off. The first is that whenever there's a moment of fear, right, everyone panics. And what do? They still buy dollars. And so some people are selling because of it. The second thing is, on the weekend, even though the Bitcoin market is open, the bank system is not open. And so you can't get net new dollars into your crypto account to buy Bitcoin. So the only thing you really can do is if you're holding Bitcoin, you can sell it. But most of the people holding Bitcoin are fully allocated. So they don't have dollars to go buy more Bitcoin. There's a very interesting dynamic where even though you want to buy more Bitcoin,
and let me pause that real quick. He makes a very interesting point, because even millionaires, every millionaire on the planet won't be able to have 1 Bitcoin. We know that. If you don't know that yet, it's very simple math. There's 21 million Bitcoin. There's 40 to 60 million millionaires, right? And we know that there's right now only 1.7 million Bitcoin on the exchanges. So not every millionaire on the planet can even have 1 Bitcoin. This is not mathematically possible. And with that being said, on top of that, not every millionaire is comfortable taking $100,000 out of their portfolio and putting that directly into this new asset class. They're just not going to do it. We're talking about old money. We're talking about gold bugs like Peter Schiff, right? They're just not going to do it, man. It's illogical for them. They're not. This is still a new asset class. We're just learning about it. Banks haven't even started offering it. We're waiting another 3 months for banks to get in. As Kathy Wood pointed out, they're looking for the top 3. In the next 3 months, they're going to jump on whoever's in the top, whoever's in the lead. So we're waiting on that. There's a lot of connecting the dots in this market, and hopefully I can get you, the viewer, to like and subscribe. Please do all the things, and give me a comment down below. What are you looking forward to? What is your big key indicators? As an investor, I'm not much of a trader anymore. I do a lot of market research and analysis, and this is what is happening. Boom! Go back to Pompliano.
You're closed out of the system as well because the banking system won't let you wire in.
You're saying people would have bought Bitcoin on Middle East tensions if the banking system were open?
The joke is that the real Bitcoiners want the price to go down so they can buy more of it.
So what have we seen since...
yes!
We didn't go up a lot.
We didn't go up a lot, but we're basically flat since
so no one is buying
since Monday.
On the heels of Middle East tensions.
Well, I think that the other thing that's happening is that now Bitcoin is being pulled into the
Pompliano, why price down? That's basically what she asked.
Legacy system. And so now it's very hard to kind of prove this, but high frequency traders and kind of more algorithmic trading, when all of the news hit Twitter and kind of the social sentiment changed very quickly, you saw a massive amount of tweets about Iran and Israel and rockets and drones, etc. there's a very quick sell-off. I find it hard to believe that humans were able to read Twitter, immediately go to the computer and start hitting the sell button.
This is what we were talking about yesterday when we were censored by the government, unfortunately, is that the algorithms, the bots are picking up keywords and selling off. We have more bots and algorithms in crypto now than we did in the last 10 years. Why? Because institutions are in. They've already deployed. I mean, you can already set up bots willy-nilly as you want in some of these exchanges now, like MEXC. You've been able to do that for years now. I had one set up a couple years ago on MEXC when I was trading on MEXC. Yeah, this is not something new. And the big players, man, they're doing this on a very large level. And you can see how much that's affecting the sell-offs when it comes to crypto. We're talking about the fear and greed index, right? We're comparing the fear and greed index to each other. Why are we sitting at 35 when crypto is at 67? Majority is because of these bots. They're not as deployed and as they're not holding as much Bitcoin as the rest of the stock markets are affecting, you know? So this is one thing I've been looking at as well, is that we still don't move like the stock markets yet. They're still getting in. This is, again, a very, very, very retail-driven market. Do not fade that. Don't stop paying attention. These are big, big things. Mondo says she's looking for kitties. What? like kitty coins? Like what was it? Cat Girl? That was another meme coin that came out. Jesus, got derailed there for a minute. But yeah, Pompliano, right? I mean, he continues to be on there every single day.
Algorithmic trading that's going on.
He's making really good points.
Trading headlines, but it's unclear how to measure that.
Let's just understand this, because part of it is, so the folks who are selling likely are selling actual Bitcoin, not the ETFs, because this was happening over the weekend. Correct. And so, then the question seems like the natural follow-up is, why were they not back in the market, either via ETFs or something else? Put the algos aside.
Retail's not really in these ETFs, man. They're doing their own thing with Bitcoin. They're not doing these ETFs.
On the halving piece of this, which is about to happen.
Looks like we just fell down to
markets
61.
are forward-looking, and part of my analysis is just that we went up 40% because people are already pricing some of this stuff in. If we go and we look, we have Russia invading Ukraine, we have Hamas, Israel, now we have Iran, Israel. At some point, there's like a less severe reaction to each one of these.
And I mean, what we're waiting for right now is one of these, right? One of these, what we call dirty bombs, right there. And if one of those happens, I mean, unfortunately, there's nothing we can do. Bitcoin is going to drop massively. We're talking about a 50% drop overnight. It's going to be insane. And that may be one of their plays. I mean, we may have an actual false flag operation building as we speak, where one of the it may not even be our country that starts it. It may be like China or Russia or something start poking at Iran and just starts disguising their troops as Israeli forces, and just boom, drop a bomb over there, start World War III, and then guess what? This asset class is going to have to chill out for a few years, ultimately, debasing all currencies around the world, or the entire AI and robotic sectors all as well are going to have to chill out because of this boom bomb that may drop. So we'll keep an eye on that. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that. If we drop, I'm not in the greatest position, but I'll hold strong. I mean, we have to basically go down to 35 for me to, not 28,000 for me to really feel it personally at a personal level. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna make me cry, but I'll get over it. I'll buy more as time goes on. I'll leverage my house or something. Anyway, so yeah, this is what's going on right now. Pay attention. All we're finding in all cylinders, again, everything all at once. And yeah, as tax season just kind of finalizes, I think what is it? The tax what's the last day for taxes? I'm pretty sure it already passed, didn't it? Last day to file taxes in America. As this is what has kind of started this rally downward. It has been the 16th, right? 17th. Yeah, so that's today. Today's the last day. So, in theory, if this narrative plays out the way I think it will, next week we're going to see a rally upward. Halving will be in full effect. Tax season will be over. And then, on top of that, if we do not get another black swan, no more bombs, we could see a new all-time high for Bitcoin within weeks. So pay attention. That's what I think is happening right now. It's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. And you can't stop those freaking bears. You can just kill them all. Kill all the damn bears. That's what we're doing. That's what we're freaking doing. We're going to knock those bears out. Anywho, so that's what I think is going on right now. Again, just kind of briefly, just kind of like summarizing what's going on. There's lots of news coverage every single day. This is just one of the ones I quickly picked up on. It's one of the few. This one I feel like we really didn't need to go over. I mean, it's pretty obvious. We dropped below 60,000. That was CNBC 4 hours ago. And everything else is pretty much a day ago in terms of mainstream media. Follow the normies, you follow the money. Right? That's what we say on here. Follow the normies, you follow the money. All right. So, enough of the normies, enough of the trends. We know what's going on with them. I'm going to just quickly go over some of the news stories I've got floating around. And then just talk about the culture that's happening right now, too. Some of these movies, right, are affecting just the way people are visualizing their current state of mind and the reality we live in. It's getting crazy out there. That is indeed true. So, crypto, fear and greed, we already went over all that. These are the crypto bubbles, everything on the day, the hour, the week, everything's in the red. We're pretty much in a big sell-off. Again, mostly due to the tax season sell-offs. The war going on in Iran, Israel, Hamas, and Ukraine, and Jesus Christ, if China wants to invade Thailand right now, we're talking about a trifecta of shit. Okay? It would be it'd be a good opportunity for them to do if they wanted to, but there's just so much going on. Yeah, so everything's down in a big way. What held up the most, I would say, on the year, shit. It's sad. The meme coins, man. It's pathetic. But Bog is up 1,500 on the year still. Pepe's up 1,300 on the year. Jasmine's up 200. Pendle's up 900. I mean, Solana's up 500. That's nothing to shake. And then, of course, Akash is up. Almost 1,200 still on the year. Render's up 300 a year, 500 on Fetch. Overall, it's been a really good year in crypto. If you have any of these big coins, like I have as well, then you're doing good still. There's nothing to really sweat. You've got things to hold you up, right? I'm down like 40, 50 grand, but I'm still up like 110. So it's still a brand new day out there. Okay. So anyway, let's just keep continuing downward. The exchanges right now, what's going on the exchanges, how much are left. I just want to look quickly at Coinbase, as we kind of covered this yesterday in my Dolphin Speak. We are falling underneath 300,000 now. This is huge. This is all the money we have left to purchase, all the Bitcoin left to purchase in this market for these ETFs on Coinbase, because, yeah, 9 out of the 12 are settled on Coinbase. That's less than what Grayscale has right now under management. That's less than, or almost as much as all of BlackRock's ETF. So that's huge. Pay attention. This is not stopping. We're going to get lower and lower, less and less are on the exchanges, and price right now is on sale. Look at this. We are down lower than we have been in forever on Coinbase, and the price for Bitcoin is at its lowest point in the last 2 months. This is a fucking fire sale. Buy some Bitcoin, man. I just bought like $600 worth of Bitcoin over the last 6 days. It's been insane. Every time we go down in a big way, I'm just buying another $100, another $100, another $100, until I can't anymore, and I gotta pull back and pay my bills. Anywho, that's what I do. So yeah, just again, kind of looking over these other ETFs. ARK is still in the lead on number 3. They are getting some competition with Bitwise as it comes up at 33,000. And they're still up about 10,000 over them. So hopefully ARK Invest can hold number 3, and they'll be in the spotlight for these banks when they start buying in. Whew, there's a lot to cover. We already went over the Chinese ETFs. Again, we are on sale right now. I just want to cover this real quick. The Bitcoin Rainbow chart, we are on a not fire sale, but we're still cheap. So be buying Bitcoin, accumulating as you can. We've already passed accumulating, but we're still cheap. We're about to be on the HODL ranges very soon. But the lower we are over time, the better it is to buy in, because your price expectancy later on is going to be risk versus reward is going to be so much higher. And we're just talking about Bitcoin. There's so many other cryptos in the asset market class that you can pick up that are going to be even more risk on reward. yeah, the top 10s, I just want to kind of go over. Cardano was on number 10 slot yesterday, so that's good. Everything's kind of still the same, with Bitcoin, Ethereum leading the way, Solana, XRP, Doge, and then Cardano, ignoring all the exchange and the stablecoins. All right, so just kind of browsing through some of these topics. We'll move into some culture. They're clashing right now. We got the STEPN partners with Adidas. This is huge. STEPN, if you're not aware, is a crypto project where you earn money by walking with an app, right? And now they're partnering with Adidas to issue sneakers that are going to have NFTs built into them, where you can also redeem tokens for walking in those shoes. So I've seen them do a few of these releases over the years, not with Adidas. It's a big partnership. It's huge. It's a freaking well-known brand, right? Probably like the second biggest shoe manufacturer in the world. All right, so don't fade this. Everything else, again, like, crypto's not going away. To anyone out there that's still in denial, crypto is like, again, it's Web3, right? We're talking about the third industrial revolution. We're talking about the beginning of the future of all technology. Crypto is going to be there to pay the AI and the robots and everything else that's going to be in the future facilitating your lives. All right, let's just jump into another crypto news. This is cryptonews.net. Anything else here worthy of covering today? Just briefly, Ripple price analysts 13% recovery, 30% yada yada yada. Pretty much a stable coin still. Elizabeth Warren supports enhanced U.S. sanction options for stablecoins. Yeah, they want CBDCs. They're not going to get them. Oh boy. What the heck? It's weird. Weird stuff. Then we got cryptonews.com. We got Justin Sun News again. We're going to ignore him. Nothing really crazy there. I don't know if you guys heard about the Dubai flood. That's huge right now. Dubai is also competing with Hong Kong to be the next crypto hub. Next, place where we're going to break out. Well, hopefully they can recover after that, because they got a lot of damage from that flood. It sucks. Peter Schiff questions Bitcoin ETF demand and $100,000 Bitcoin price. Yeah, Peter Schiff can go suck an egg. I'm sorry. Gold is not appreciating as fast as he think it is on his very, very, very long time frames. We're talking about Pompiano. We just showed a video of that. This is what we're talking about. It's bigger than gold, of course. So we just talked about how it's more scarce than gold in 2 more days. That's it. 2 more days, the production of Bitcoin is going to be far less than the supply ever will be for gold. And then in the next another 4 years, there's no way it can possibly ever compete. Even if there's hardly any gold to mine ever, you still have gold in the hands of millions and millions and billions of people, in form of jewelry and whatever else. So that you're always going to find more gold. All right, so MIT German central bank will research CBDC privacy. Oof, that's scary. As other countries invest more and more money into CBDCs to control your money and where it goes. Don't let them do it. Buy Bitcoin. Self-custody your store. Be your own bank. This is how we defeat them. All right. I don't see anything else really going on there. I'm just reading headlines right now, just to kind of push through. I did want to make this a quick one. I've got some other stuff going on tonight, unfortunately. Goldman cautions against Bitcoin extrapolating. Oh God. Previous Bitcoin halving cycles for the price predictions. Basically looking at the previous pricing cycle of previous Bitcoin cycles and comparing them to the new ones, right? And yeah, this is a big thing. They are trying to push FUD on, basically saying, don't look at the previous price halving, because they came out and originally they came out and Goldman Sachs said that they were going to actually offer it to the customers. That was the beginning of this year, and then some point in March, they came out and said, "Oh, we don't support this Bitcoin thing." And I think it's just market manipulation. I think again they know that their voice, just like Peter Schiff, not Peter Schiff, J.P. Morgan, right? And they know that Jamie Dimon and Goldman Sachs and these big banks and institutions are going to be the ones that basically withhold the entry points and large money to get into these. Again, if you're not in early, and it's just the way it is, you're gonna miss the because they're still buying this crap on the side. We have evidence that points to JP Morgan buying Bitcoin and holding it already for like the last 3 years. So don't believe in these banks. It's all BS. Nothing really. BlackRock releases Bitcoin education series. You know, speaking of education, I was actually very, very proud of. I want to shout out to. Let me look it up real quick. Oh, look at that! Boom! We are getting beaten down by the Bears again. Just quickly showing Kimba heat map. I wanted to cover real quick. But I still know her as Miss Teen Crypto, but she just goes by Randy now. Miss Teen Crypto showed up on my feed today as she actually hosted a. I don't see it in her timeline. I'll just have to click on it. I just wanted to shout out to her because I believe this is how you get activity, right? This is how you get mainstream adoption. You need to get out there. You gotta do the work. You got to get more people, right, to speak up, like I'm trying to do here on this channel. More people get out there, speak up, tell their story in their own way, do their own due diligence, speak to the crowd. I'm hoping to have a Gen Zer on next week. You know who you are, Dragon, if you're watching right now. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get him on here, and and No Coiner as well. Mondo, are you still a No Coiner? Don't even answer that. We'll find out next week as well. Maybe by the end of the week, depending on her schedule. Thank you, Mondo Cat, for being a loyal fan. I couldn't do it without you. Oh Jesus. But yeah, Randy Hipper, right? Randy Hipper. She has been amazing in the space. I first seen her in 2021. She was still in high school, and she was on the news, basically preaching Bitcoin. That's how she became known as Miss Teen Crypto. I don't think she's not a teenager anymore. And I remember her talking about still going by Miss Teen Crypto. But shout out to her again because she had a live. I saw bits of it this morning. I shouted out to her in the middle of the stream. She was teaching a class today in high school on the fundamentals of Bitcoin. And again, I bow down and I tip my hat to her. So she's great. She's awesome. And everyone else, there's so many influencers out there. Again, this is why I do this, man. I'm doing this to eventually reach out, make some new contacts, and connect with my fellow Bitcoiners. Shout out to Randy Hipper. Awesome job. Can't wait to see what else you do, and hope to one day meet some of you guys. Anywho, so it's just been nuts out there, man. It's been nuts. I mean, look at this. Polygon Matic road to $1 with whales loading up right now on Polygon. There's so much going on with that. We talked about Settlement, the Japanese stablecoin on the Polygon network. There's so much going on right now, so much being built behind the scenes. Keep track, do your research, and buy low, man. It's the only way. You gotta go. All right, so I'm gonna probably call it there. There's been a lot to unpack today, a lot to review from yesterday. Unfortunately, the whole dolphin speak thing was just nonsense, man. Just nonsense. I'm going to double check my talking points from yesterday, make sure I covered everything and a bit, Fed Pal, right? That was one thing I kind of skipped over a little bit today. We talked about all the fundamental reasons why Bitcoin is falling and selling off right now. Another thing too is I wanted to show this. I didn't know freaking volume yesterday either on my videos, but the Coinbase ad, if you haven't seen it, that's freaking awesome. It was pretty cool. They had a pizza ad, which if you guys aren't familiar with the original purchase or the original transaction used for Bitcoin was for a pizza. I believe it was Papa John's. So they did this. Honors Pizza Day. Here are the Bitcoin iconic moments, and they put out this ad yesterday. It was freaking awesome, and we're just gonna play it real quick.
Over time, your money gets you less. Does Bitcoin? Well, in 2012, one Bitcoin bought you this much pizza. In 2016, this much pizza. In 2020, this much pizza. And in 2024, well, you get the gist. Roughly every 4 years, the future supply of Bitcoin is reduced. So historically, you get more, not less.
Very cool, very cool. I'm glad that they're still promoting this in a way people can understand. Hopefully, they get out there, they do the research to see something like this. How can Bitcoin get me more pizza? I mean, it's silly, but yeah, it's cute. I like it, tongue in cheek. But that was cool. I wanted to kind of quickly review that before I forget. Oh yeah, the FedPal thing. I'm just gonna quickly go over it. FedPal, right? Basically came out yesterday, and he was on was it CPAC, I think, I forget which group they met with to discuss the current economic changes and struggles, right? And he basically said that the rate cuts pretty much weren't really going to happen. We're looking at maybe 1 or 2, and I feel like this whole thing is just all propaganda. It's all just being a movie playback, right? We're just watching this movie as it kind of goes. And, Mondo says she's a prior coiner. Okay. We'll work on that possibly sometime. I don't know. We'll talk about scheduling. But yeah, the whole movie being played right now with FedPal, and FedPal having this demeanor that he's not going to pull back after saying all these positive things, very dovish things, and how it made the market look positive. And all of a sudden these events play out, and it just seems too convenient. To me, it seems too convenient. We're never, and again, being an election year, it sounds like this is all just a movie to play before the election. And as soon as the election's over into next year, we're going to see some crazy thing. We're going to see something huge, man. Maybe nuclear war could break out. Who knows? But I feel like this whole movie is being played right now for us, propaganda, to get us ready for what's going to come next year. And that's going to be currencies failing, bombs dropping, people, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria, right? Like, it's nuts. Who knows what we're gonna see? But I just want to quickly briefly cover that, and then I just want to do something quick and fun. I've been watching, maybe I'll save it for another day. I'm not that far into it yet, but I started watching the Fallout series again because we have a current theme on this channel, and that is the dystopian future! This is where we live. This is how life is now. You just get used to it, man. The bombs are going to drop. We're going to have nuclear radioactive radiation, and we're all going to turn to mutants and kill each other. Get one of these, right? Get one of these. Spike baseball bat. That's what you need. You need to defend yourself from zombies and, of course, malevolent people. So do yourself a favor. Get some ways to defend yourself. I know it's not... it's not ideal. I don't want to hurt anyone. I'm gonna be honest. I don't even kill bugs again in my house, man. They're not a threat to me. I don't do it, man. I just don't. I have live mice catchers and that sort of thing. I let them go free. I get no satisfaction from killing anyone or anything. So hopefully we don't have to do that here. But anywho, I just want to cover all this stuff today. Got some fun stuff coming up. Working on some projects. Hopefully we can incorporate that in later. Yada, yada, yada. Please like and subscribe. Do all the things. And this is Crypto Otaku, man. Signing off. Have a great night. Pick up some Bitcoins. It's always a great day on a dip. Buy Bitcoin. Have a great night. Later.
We can make the dollar the most attractive currency by continuing to have the rule of law.
You always print money to do that.
I suppose it would diminish our status as the reserve currency.
Just shut up. There's no expectation of privacy above the in the sky.
So Bitcoin is the solution because you can buy Bitcoin right